The house was silent, until a baby's soft cry broke the calm air. A new father sat beside the crib, helpless, whispering gentle words. His tiny son wouldn't stop crying, no matter what he tried. The clock ticked past midnight. Exhaustion filled the father's eyes. He had never felt so powerless in his entire life before. Then, from the corner of the room, a small sound stirred hope. A little puppy, barely a few weeks old, lifted its head curiously. Its bright eyes watched the crying baby with quiet concern. It tilted its head as if it understood the pain in that sound. The father looked at the pup and sighed, unaware of the miracle ahead. Moments later, the puppy gently crawled toward the baby's blanket. Each tiny step carried a warmth only a pure heart could hold. The baby's sobs grew softer as the puppy reached his side. The pup rested its head near the baby's trembling little hand. Then, as if guided by love, it gave a soft, comforting lick. The father froze, his heart caught between shock and wonder. Slowly, the baby's cries faded into peaceful little sighs. The puppy lay beside him, watching with loyal, unblinking eyes. Tears filled the father's eyes as he whispered, "Thank you, little one." That night, something changed. Love spoke without a single word. The father hadn't slept for days. His baby cried endlessly. He tried every lullaby, every gentle pat, but nothing worked. The night felt heavy, filled with worry and helplessness. He whispered prayers under his breath, asking for calm. The baby's tiny fists clenched in restless waves of tears. The mother was exhausted too, barely able to sit up. The room echoed with the baby's cries and father's sighs. A small clock ticked beside the crib, marking their struggle. Love was strong, but fatigue had started to break hope. Then, something soft stirred near the foot of the bed. The family's little puppy raised its sleepy head. It blinked, confused, ears twitching at the crying sound. It tilted its head, as if asking, "Why is he sad?" The father smiled weakly. "It's okay, buddy. Go to sleep." But the pup didn't move. Its gaze stayed on the baby. A strange calm filled the air, almost like understanding. The father felt it too, that silent connection of hearts. The puppy's tiny chest rose and fell, steady and patient. It stepped forward slowly, nose twitching with care. Every step it took, the father watched with teary eyes. The pup reached the baby's blanket and stopped there. Its fur brushed the child's hand, a spark of comfort. The baby's crying softened just a little. The father leaned closer, unable to look away. Something special was about to happen. The puppy climbed closer, careful not to scare the child. Its eyes glowed with something almost human, empathy. It nudged the blanket softly, sensing the baby's warmth. The baby whimpered, tears still glistening on tiny cheeks. The father whispered, "Easy, boy, easy," with trembling hope. The puppy gently placed its paw near the baby's arm. That simple touch carried a promise. "You're not alone." The baby's eyes fluttered open, startled but curious. He stared at the little creature beside him in silence. The puppy gave a small whine, almost like a lullaby. Its nose brushed the baby's cheek, soft, caring, pure. The baby blinked, confused, then paused between cries. The room fell quiet, like time had stopped to listen. The father's heart pounded. He couldn't believe his eyes. He watched love bloom between innocence and loyalty. The baby reached out with a trembling hand. His fingers brushed the puppy's ear, clumsy but gentle. The pup didn't move. It stayed perfectly still. Then the baby gave a tiny hiccup and smiled. A single tear slipped down the father's cheek. He whispered, "That's it. You're safe now, both of you?" The moment glowed with warmth stronger than words. Even the walls seemed to breathe in peace again. The puppy sighed and rested its head beside the baby. A miracle had quietly begun. He couldn't stop watching. His heart was breaking open. All his exhaustion melted into awe and gratitude. A little creature had done what he couldn't: bring peace. The puppy yawned softly, curling closer to the baby's chest. The baby's tiny fingers tangled in its fur. The cries turned into gentle breaths, calm and rhythmic. The father covered his mouth, fighting back his emotions. He whispered, "You're an angel, little one." The dog's eyes met his, deep, loyal, and full of love. For the first time in weeks, the house felt alive again. The air was lighter, filled with something divine. The father wiped his tears but couldn't stop smiling. He thought of how love speaks in silent, pure ways. No words, no lessons, just the touch of care. The puppy licked the baby's forehead once more. That tiny gesture carried more meaning than any lullaby. The baby stirred, letting out a peaceful sigh. The father's heart swelled with gratitude and pride. He knew this night would stay with him forever. In that quiet glow, he whispered a prayer of thanks. The bond between them was now unbreakable. Love had found its way through fur and tiny hands. Even the moonlight outside seemed softer that night. The father leaned back, tears still glistening. He had just witnessed love in its truest form. Sunlight crept through the curtains, warm and golden. The father awoke to silence, beautiful, healing silence. No crying, no chaos, only soft breathing and peace. He looked at the crib and froze, heart full of wonder. The puppy was still there, curled beside the baby. Both were sleeping soundly, side by side like siblings. The baby's hand rested gently on the pup's fur. The father smiled, trying not to wake them. He reached for his phone and captured the moment. Tears filled his eyes as the camera clicked softly. He whispered, "You saved my son, little hero." The puppy's ear twitched as if it heard the praise. He sat quietly, watching over them both. Every breath felt like a gift he didn't deserve. The morning light painted them in golden serenity. The mother stirred, confused at the peaceful room. She gasped when she saw the sight before her eyes. They both smiled, their hearts melting together. The baby giggled in his sleep, the first in days. The puppy nuzzled closer, tail wagging faintly. The father and mother exchanged a knowing glance. They didn't need words. Their hearts understood. Sometimes angels come on 4 little paws. And that morning, love slept between them. The home finally felt whole again. Later that day, he held the puppy close in his arms. He whispered, "You're more than a pet, you're family." The pup looked up with innocent, shining eyes. The father kissed its forehead with trembling gratitude. Every bark, every paw step now felt sacred to him. He couldn't explain what he had witnessed that night, but he knew it was something beyond human kindness. The baby laughed when the puppy ran around playfully. Their bond had already begun to grow stronger each hour. The house was now filled with laughter, not cries. The puppy followed the baby everywhere like a guardian. The father often paused, watching them in quiet awe. He would remember that moment forever, the healing night. He realized that sometimes love doesn't need to speak. It just needs a heart brave enough to care. The baby smiled brighter each time the puppy was near. Their friendship became the soul of the home. The father thanked destiny for sending this miracle. He wrote in his journal, "That night changed everything. The puppy had not just calmed a baby, it healed a father. Each heartbeat, each laugh now carried gratitude. Even the mother couldn't stop watching them together. Their little home glowed with peace and warmth, all because a puppy listened to a baby's cry and answered it with love. Days passed, and the baby grew calmer each night. The puppy stayed close, guarding his little friend. Whenever the baby cried, the pup ran to his side. It would nuzzle his cheek until he smiled again. The father watched with pride and silent amazement. Every bedtime became a story of love and healing. The baby giggled whenever he saw those blue eyes. The puppy wagged its tail like a heartbeat of joy. Their friendship became stronger with each passing day. It wasn't just luck. It was destiny in motion. The house that once echoed with tears now sang laughter. Every corner held warmth. Every morning held peace. The father realized that healing can come in small forms, not through medicines or lullabies, but through love itself. He often whispered, "You were sent for him." The puppy would tilt its head as if understanding. The bond between them was beyond explanation. Even neighbors noticed the glow in that small home. The baby slept longer, smiled wider, laughed louder, all because a puppy had chosen to love him endlessly. The father's heart was full of peace, of gratitude. Each night he'd watch them sleep and feel blessed. He knew something divine lived under his roof now. It wasn't just a story. It was a miracle unfolding. And the house finally had its rhythm again. One afternoon, the father decided to record the moment. He wanted to capture what love truly looked like. He set his phone near the crib and pressed record. The baby began to cry softly, missing his nap. Before the father could move, the puppy ran forward. It climbed up gently beside the crying child. The father froze, just watching the magic unfold. The pup licked the baby's tears, soft and patient. The baby's cries faded into small, sleepy murmurs. It was the same miracle, now caught on camera. The father's hands trembled as he watched in awe. He whispered, "The world needs to see this." For the first time, he smiled through his tears. He uploaded the clip, never expecting what followed. Within hours, hearts across the world melted. Thousands commented, calling it pure love. The story reached people who'd lost faith in kindness. Even strangers cried watching the puppy's devotion. The video became a symbol of hope and innocence. The father read the comments with watery eyes. People wrote, "That puppy is an angel in disguise." He knew they were right. It truly was. The baby and pup became little heroes overnight, and love had found its way into countless hearts. A simple act had changed the world's mood that day. As days turned to weeks, the father kept thinking, how could something so small hold so much love? He realized that animals don't just feel, they understand. They sense pain, joy, and everything in between. The puppy had taught him more than books ever could. He learned that love doesn't need perfection or words. It just needs to be given, freely, honestly, endlessly. Each day he thanked the puppy for saving his peace. He often sat by the window watching them play. The baby's laughter filled the room like music. He smiled, knowing he was watching love in motion. No doctor, no expert could have done what that pup did, because love doesn't come with training. It's born pure. The baby now slept easily, trusting his furry guardian. The puppy always checked on him before resting. Their bond became the heartbeat of the home. The father knew he'd never see them as just a pet. This was family, bound by something higher than blood. He whispered, "You taught me what love really means." The puppy wagged its tail as if to say, "Always." Every moment felt sacred, every hug eternal. Even silence spoke volumes between them now. The father looked at them and smiled softly. He realized the truth. Love saves lives, and this time it saved his. One evening, he took the puppy in his arms again. The baby slept peacefully in the crib nearby. He whispered, "You'll never be alone again." The puppy rested its head on his shoulder quietly. Tears rolled down his cheeks. This was his vow. He promised to protect the one who brought peace home. The father knew this bond would last a lifetime. No matter how many years passed, he'd remember that night. The night love took shape in the form of fur and heartbeats. He imagined the baby growing up with his loyal friend. They'd run in fields, share secrets, chase butterflies. The thought filled him with warmth and gratitude. He wanted his son to learn the same lesson one day. That kindness is the greatest strength in the world. That love, no matter how small, can change everything. He looked at the puppy's gentle eyes and smiled. "You gave me back my faith in love," he whispered. The puppy barked softly, like an answer to prayer. The father placed it beside the crib once again. Together they watched over the sleeping baby, a man, a dog, and a child. 3 souls, 1 heart. The room glowed softly in moonlight's calm embrace, and the world outside seemed a little kinder that night, because somewhere love had done its quiet miracle. Years went by, but the memory never faded. The father often told the story with trembling joy, how a little puppy once stopped his baby's tears, how that night changed their lives forever. The baby, now older, still cuddled his furry friend. The puppy had grown, but its love never changed. Their bond was stronger than time itself. They were still inseparable, hearts tied forever. The father watched them play, smiling with pride. He knew some stories are written by fate itself. He often replayed that old video and cried softly, not out of sadness, but from overwhelming love. He whispered, "You'll always be our miracle." The puppy barked gently, tail wagging with devotion. Even as years passed, it never left his side. It grew old gracefully, watching the boy grow tall. Their hearts beat in rhythm. 2 souls, 1 bond. And every time the boy laughed, the father saw hope. He realized love truly never fades. It only grows. The miracle that began in one tearful night lived on. Through laughter, through years, through every heartbeat, the home remained warm with love and loyalty. And the father's eyes still glistened with gratitude, because one small act of kindness had changed everything. Forever and ever love stayed, curled up at their hearts. Sometimes angels don't come with wings, they come with paws. A single act of love can heal wounds words can't reach. That night, a little puppy reminded the world that compassion is the purest language of the soul. Love doesn't need to speak, it only needs to feel.